friends, I hope you're having a lovely day today. Today I want to talk about something in photography that I think is a strong fundamental of compelling photography in general, but especially street photography, especially street portraiture, especially photojournalism. These things where you're interacting with people and putting yourselves in possibly uncomfortable situations, something where you're really pushing yourself consistently if you're trying to create compelling work. I think that what we do as photographers is we default to the easiest possible shot. If we can create this shot easily, we're in. Let's do that. How do we do that? Let's make that happen, right? I think that is a huge weakness for us as photographers, for us as maybe introverted photographers, that we don't challenge ourselves, that we don't push ourselves to take the hard photos, the photos that I would argue in the end, many of the photos that you'll see in the world that you are really compelled by, there was some element of challenge that the photographer had to overcome to take that photo. It was probably not an easy photo to take, which is part of why it's so compelling, right? Anyway, we're going to look at a couple of photos today that I think illustrate that point very well. So here we go. So here we have a photo that got a lot of publicity recently, and you've probably seen it. This is a very strong photo that was taken in Baton Rouge during the recent protests. The story is that the protests were peaceful, but they were asked to leave the streets. This girl decided to stay. As you can see, the photographer here is right up in the action, which could be difficult for multiple reasons, including the fact that he may be arrested or at least scolded by the police himself, depending on where he was standing. So I think it's safe to say that in this moment, this was a hard photo to take for this photographer. This photo took intentionality. Another photo that illustrates this idea is the first street portrait I took upon starting my Street People blog. I have changed my post-processing direction quite a bit since then, but for me, this was a very hard photo to take. It was the beginning of my journey in asking random people if I could take their photo, and I remember standing about 50 feet away and having an existential crisis thinking about the details of walking up to this friendly old man. And I could have easily walked away from the cheetah that I was looking at, but I went towards the cheetah, and I had a lovely, enlightening talk with this old man that was actually not a cheetah at all, and I got a photo I was proud of. Another example of me taking the hard photo, or photos in this case, was a recent experience I had with a group of 3 people. Out of that experience, I got photos of each person I was very happy with, and I struggle with approaching groups because if I'm aiming for one person in the group, which is generally the case, I don't want to offend the other people in the other peoples in the group, and that's a bit silly, but it is something that I struggle with. So that makes these photos a hard photo, but I'm very proud of the photos I got in the end, and I'm so happy I did it. I think I got some strong portraits out of it, but overall, if you choose to take the hard photos, if you choose to press through the fear into the opportunity that's in front of you, the effort will show in your photos in the end. So take the hard photos. One way that you can begin to do that is think about what photos you want to create and know that there are going to be challenges that will come with those photos, and dive into those challenges and start to make it happen. Know that whatever fear you feel probably just means you're going in the right direction, and don't be scared to improvise. And in the end, that effort will show. I hope this was inspiring to you, and I hope this encouraged some thought processes. I think processes is a fun word. And please comment and let me know any of your thoughts, any of your questions. I would love to elaborate on this topic further in another video. But I am on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, other places, and I would love to engage with you guys on there too, and I hope you guys have a lovely day. Goodbye!